Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood, the software manager for R&K Distributing, and I'd like to welcome you to this week's R&K Software Club's video for the week. And the topic for this week is going to be about symbols, and the symbol tool is found on the top of your workspace over towards the right. And notice that there's actually two tools that look kind of the same. One says symbol, the other one says crazy quilting, and I suppose we should probably change the color of one of these icons or something like that, because the reason I have them both the same here is the crazy quilting one got added to the Floriani software when I activated Total Quilter. And this one, of course, is part of the FTCU software. It's called the symbol tool. And so they kind of end up looking the same, and they're side by side on the workspace. And it really never even dawned on me until I went to record about the symbol tools. So yeah, anyhow, the point is, if you own FTCU, then you don't necessarily have the crazy quilting tool. That's only because I, of course, have all of the Floriani software activated. And you know that just last week, or a couple weeks ago, Matt and I answered that question. What are the things that get added to the Floriani software, right? You can add Total Quilter, and Total Quilter kind of puts a bunch of tools all over the place because it's got the toolbar down the left-hand side. It's also got a few little tools in here like the embellishments and the borders and the decor tools, and it adds the crazy quilting tool. It also adds 3 or 4 different stitch styles down at the bottom here. And so anyway, all that's to say, we were going to talk about the symbol tool today, and this is the symbol tool right here. So that's part of FTCU, and when you click on it, basically your sort of properties box becomes a selector, and you can choose what symbol that you want to work with. And the software comes with all of these different symbols, although I have added some of my own, and so there may be some in my list that don't belong in your list, or you don't have in your list. But whatever symbol you choose, and I'll just choose this cowboy hat, you have to click and drag to make it. You just click, and the further I drag, the bigger it'll get, or the less I drag, the sort of smaller it can be. And I can change the orientation of the design just by clicking and dragging. And when I let go, then it places the symbol down, and I could make another one. It's like a repeat tool. You know, when I'm making, if once you save something as a symbol, you could do a whole sort of team of cowboy hats. And so this is kind of how the symbol tool works. Now, if you ever make a design that you think would make a great symbol, and it doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. Notice what's happening. I'm just sort of like getting distracted. As I'm creating this, you might notice that gap. Okay, this is a side note from the symbol tool, because what it really is about is the satin stitches getting long. If I turn off 3D, it'll show the stitches. The machine's still going to move back and forth like that. It's just that on some of the typical home machines, they have a limit. And if you go beyond it from one needle point to the next, the software will skip it. It thinks that it's like meant to be a trim. And so there's a solution to that. And really, that's kind of a whole another sort of topic. But if you make a satin stitch like this and it becomes too long, one of your options would be to change that satin to a pattern fill, and that could be done. But that's going to try and make like all of your symbol a pattern fill. What I might do is leave it as a satin, but then look in your sort of different tabs that we have for this one here that says split, and just make sure it's turned on, and turn it on with either a middle split or what I like to do is a random split, and then just look at the minimum and maximum numbers and say, well, okay, so we'll make sure that we don't have any stitches that are smaller than 2, and we'll make sure that we don't have any stitches that are longer than, let's say, 5. And then click apply. And so what happens is it makes it a satin, but as this satin becomes long, it splits it at 5 and at 5. So this one's probably, 15 long, because you can see that it's splitting it twice. Anyway, that was a total side note, but it's not really, because you notice with symbols that a lot of them are made as satins, like this cowboy hat. And look how it looks like part of the cowboy hat's missing. Well, if I turn off 3D, no, it's there. My software is just showing me that, sew this on your typical kind of home embroidery machine, and that's too long. And so we show it as missing. So if that happens to you, then you know that you need to select that part and change it to either some kind of a pattern fill, or put a split on there, and that should fix it. So all right, and coming back to sort of creating a symbol. So if you have an embroidery design that you've made, and I thought maybe I could just look to my library and get one of our little this was from, I think, April 2010 in your free monthly embroidery designs. And if I just ungroup it all and then take a moment to kind of like click and drag to select out that little pink butterfly. So what I can do is, whatever I have selected, I can choose the Tools drop-down menu, and then it's where it says Save Symbol. So Save Symbol will allow me to put this, and so we'll call it Butterfly. And there's already Butterfly and Butterfly 2, so maybe I'll put Butterfly 3 beside it, and then click Save. So now at any point in time in the future, if you're wanting to do, butterflies, you can click on your symbol tool, and then it's alphanumerical, so it's going to be under B for butterfly. So I guess I have to go backwards. And there it is, Butterfly 3. So it's not that, I know a lot of the symbols that it comes with are very sort of small, simple, kind of one color designs, but that is not a rule. And you will find that there are also larger designs and in multiple colors. So now that I have saved the butterfly as a symbol, I'll always have it saved in my symbol library, and I can always come in and make new butterflies kind of in any design. And so if there's something that's important to you and you might use it a lot, maybe it's a signature, maybe it's a specific part of your logo, or just a maple leaf or a heart shape that you like to use lots, go ahead and save it as a symbol. And so that's a little quick video for this week about the Floriani FTCU software and how to save your own symbols and how to use the symbol tool. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Until next week, have a great day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.